Welcome to Section 31, episode number 255. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I am Rogue Schindler.
This week, after last week's marathon, we've got a short show. We're going to talk briefly about what we've seen in the DS9 Set 3 Gamma Quadrant. I'm going to be calling it Gummy Quadrant for quite a bit. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a spoiler. So you want to talk about cards we've already seen first?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. They released the article, what? It feels like just a couple days ago. Was it Friday?
Friday, yeah.
And there was just a ton of cards, which was really nice, like 9 or 10 cards in that release, and a little bit of everything. You know, we got some personnel and a new facility and some dilemmas. I don't know about you, but I was most intrigued by the site, the new site.
Yes, the one that lets people report ignoring their icon, or I think it's for free if you had to. I'm gonna open it up here. Wardroom.
Yeah, it's a little bit like
Yeah.
a crossover for Gummy Quadrant non-lines.
Yeah. So Gamma Quadrant non-aligned. Report they're ignoring their Gamma icon, or download in place of a normal card play. Draw no cards this turn. Once a turn, once a personnel report for free if you have 2 VIP or personnel of 2 different affiliations.
Which is, easy if you're playing Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. So just all the Gamma Quadrant people just start showing up if they're not aligned.
Yeah. You could
And
drop
match.
drop a task, which I saw multiple people try and fail to do in our block tournament last week. When like, oh, report task to Deep Space Nine, like, really? How you doing that?
Yeah. Well, he did in the show.
Yeah. Hell, he had to come through the wormhole.
Well, no, he just showed up at the wardroom. Nobody was looking.
Well, he will now.
Matching VIPs may file mission reports here, and it's on the habitat ring. And card number 54. So this is probably the last one in the set, right?
Yeah, sites are usually right at the end of the, unless there's tactics, sites are usually the last thing on the list.
Yeah. And finally, Administrator William makes his black border debut. That one's been going out as white border in the as a preview in the kits for a while now. So I'm anxiously looking forward to seeing what the next preview is going to be.
Well, the article and I guess the deck list really kind of little preempted your release kit article a little bit, because Loss was one of the cards released, and it automatically linked to alternate prints, and it's got the little CC logo. It's like, oh, I guess that's the release foil.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. No, we haven't gotten them in yet, so I can't put kits in the mail yet. But as soon as we get them in, we'll have a little construction party, and they will go out. So I'm looking forward to. The warehouse is looking forward to getting those. And wait, 599 was Loss. This is not a conversion, is he? Interesting. The Loss in TUI is the one that's attributes plus whatever the founder. Is that right?
I think it's the highest cost personnel.
Highest
that
cost
you have.
personnel. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We don't know what training ring is yet, and we don't know what Tane's download is either, right?
No. Though it does look interesting from the text. I mean, I was curious because I saw that it was conversion, and I'm like, oh, this must be the one that lets you, have 2 ships fight together. But that's already a thing in 1E, and it's actually the wrong Tane that's being converted.
Yes.
It's the other one, and that particular 2E Tane's text does not make me think of a card that would be titled Combined Strike. You may kill one of your other Cardassian personnel present to prevent him from being stopped.
Yeah, and as the article points out, that's not the greatest. Yeah, that wouldn't be so hot.
Yeah.
In TUI, that could be a good thing. Although I'm racking my brain to figure out if anybody's used that in a game against me, and I can't think of one. But
Yeah.
it'd be even less interesting.
Yeah, well, nobody uses this Tane, because if you're going to play that deck, you're playing the All Intelligence.
Yeah, the one from
deck.
Reflections.
And so you got the Reflections Tane, so you can draw 7 cards every time you play him, and then eat him, and then play him again. the the 2E version of Chromaset. What is it? The guy dying at the bedside.
Yeah. Hold on. Retired Spy Master. Yeah, that's it. On the wall. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Great attributes.
Oh yeah, Cunning 10. That's
And
beefy.
he'll report for free in both a Cardassian and a Romulan deck. It kind of makes me think. I was thinking just the other day about how I haven't played Romulan without playing Continuing Mission in a while.
Oh yes.
I haven't been able to play the Raptor in a while, and just get the free draws that way and get a bunch of free reports. And I want to put that deck back together, and I think he would go right back into that deck, but with his, Obsidian Order, Talshar, Lost Treachery, Security VIP. I don't know if
Yeah,
that adds
definitely.
much. I don't know if that adds much to Talshar skill set other than Obsidian Order, obviously, but another free report with great attributes would be great. So awesome. It looks like we're going to be getting probably a spoiler a day for a while. At least that's what's been showing up, right? We got one every day this weekend, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that. And along those lines, we've got another one.
Yes. This is an incident, which is numbered 14V, because incidents are pretty high up there in the alphabetical card type list. It seeds or plays on table. Just after I'm going to read this a couple times because I had to read it myself a couple times before I could get this first text. Just after you report a Deep Space Nine ship with at least one command or staffing icon to your Alpha Quadrant facility, you may place this incident on that ship. So you can start with it, but you don't have to have the ship to put it on yet. And then once you play a DS9 ship that has a staffing icon to the Alpha Quadrant, then you can move this over. This ship and all of your other ships, so not your opponents, of the same class, add holodeck. And then if this ship is destroyed, return incident to table.
Okay. So if I'm playing a lot of the same class, like...
I'm trying to think of Deep Space Nine icon cards that have that many classes, and it's especially in 1E, it's not happening. I guess you get the Defiant and the Sao Paulo.
For feds, yeah.
Yeah.
And a backwards compatible. No, can't use Red Squad. Doesn't have the IRAD icon.
Yeah, I mean, I started to go Thunderchild and Akira, but I think Thunderchild's First Contact, right? Or is it whatever that weird game was?
Yeah. Well, and you can't use it on. I was thinking, all right, because we tossed around an idea about a holographic communicator when we were doing the Maquis, because that was something they were using to communicate back and forth with. But they don't have command and staff, and you wouldn't want to report it to a facility anyway, so that's not going to work. I guess if you're struggling to get a holodeck on your ship, this is a way of doing it. I mean, this would be good for Cardassians, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I don't know. I'm a little leery because all of the decks that do it are really shenanigan heavy. They go through a lot of effort to seed a ship and then seed the holo deck so that you can then pick up the ship and then move the holodeck to something else and play somebody, mostly to get Chromaset out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's going to help you in this because he's going to break your engine if you're playing.
Well, no, wait a minute.
The Quadrant, because he's Voyager.
Right, but once you play the ship, you don't care anymore if you're playing Chromaset.
I guess if you were not actually playing that, that's another. So, but you're not really coming out ahead. You're going to have to seed.
No, because then you don't have to seed 2 holodeck doors. You only have to seed 1.
Yes, but then you have to seed reshape the quadrant so that it has the icon.
Fair enough.
So you're trading one seed card for another.
Oh, and I think they reduced it to seed. You can only seed 1 on it per ship anyway. Right.
I'm trying to think of what, why this is a big deal to get holograms on DS9 ships.
It,
Uh,
well, we've already seen the hologram planet. Maybe holograms play a big part in this set. That's all I can think of.
Maybe.
All right.
There's
Uh,
certainly a lack of holodeck ships in the DS9 block.
yes. Yes, that is not something they really played with very much. Uh, what we got? I'm thinking about the big Klingon ship. Was it the Nekvar or something like that? Does that have holodeck?
Yes, that's pretty much the only Klingon ship that does.
Um, w okay, so let's go with the idea that holograms are going to be fun to play with, and everyone wants holograms. So you'll want this, even if it's just putting on your Defiant. Now you can run a few holograms on your Defiant. I mean, it's great that it would add it to all the other ships of the same class, but this ship in particular would also get it in a format where there is no holodeck door if you're playing block, right?
Sure. And if this is, like we said, we've seen that one guy and we've seen the planet from two different hologram-heavy episodes, and if that means they're going to put a significant number of hologram personnel in this set, it
Mm-hmm.
would be kind of lame to have so many people that you can't play with in block because you don't have any holodecks, or for that matter, can't play with when you're reshaping the quadrant.
Exactly. So, all right. So that sounds like. I mean, did we already see the planet? Do we know that holograms can report there? Let me turn off the screen share. Um, I've already forgotten.
I thought we did.
I,
Maybe
I
we did.
no no
Like
I'm
investigate Omicron particles. Computer skill plus 3 hologram personnel or Jadzia decks.
right. But when seated, you may download holographic settlement. We don't know what that is, but I would
Right.
imagine it's something that lets you play holograms on the surface. I mean, right?
Oh yeah, I would certainly assume so.
So you do that mission with your holograms, and then you got this on your ship. You can do 2 space missions with your holograms, and you're done, right? How's
Yeah.
that sound? Okay. So you can make your holodeck, your block holodeck. All right. Uh, what do you think about this not being an equipment? Right?
I think it was specifically made not an equipment because you're as soon as you base a card around an equipment, you're screwed. Everybody's going to run even more so because it's definitely made a comeback. Equipment overload.
hmm I,
I
I
mean,
I think I remember there was a decision made that ship-based equipment would not be equipment. I mean, I think they said that the last one was going to
yeah,
be the grappler, which probably, you know, with more foresight would have been an equipment or an incident that plays on the ship rather than
sure.
a piece of equipment because you don't really hologram, take a holographic communicator with you on away teams.
Yeah, I think the idea of equipment as a card type is really more meant to be like a personal scale equipment, something that you can pick up and carry, or you know, beam down. I don't think it's meant. This is an equipment that I'm mounting on my ship. We got the teeny tiny cloaking device once and the stolen
hmm
cloaking device, but um, you know, the, those aren't thematically meant to be something that you can, overload a phaser and blow it up.
You think something like a blade of armor these days would have been made an equipment an incident
Oh
instead?
yeah, definitely. That seems much more like an incident to affect your ships and
And
or a ship.
if it were a piece of equipment and the ship was destroyed, the equipment would obviously be lost. I think that last line about if the ship is destroyed, the incident goes back to the table, so that you can play. If you play another ship, that can be your hologram, you know, uh, headquarters or whatever. I
Sure.
don't want to say headquarters because we don't know if they can report to the ship, but they can at least carry the things around, right?
Yeah. So here's my question with this incident. Now that you've mentioned that, let's say I play the Sao Paulo and the Defiant, and I play the Defiant first, and it has so the incident moves there, and I play holograms on both of my ships, and I got my ships flying around, and then either you attack me or I hit a dilemma or whatever, and my Defiant blows up. Incident goes back to the table. but I've still got holograms on the other ship. Thematically, how does it make sense that I'm losing the holodeck on my other ship when this is the one that blew up?
Yeah, not so much. And also, I think our holograms would immediately be erased, if I remember correctly. If what is giving them the ability to be there is gone, then they just disappear. They're
Really, I thought they
discarded.
were like turned off or something. Because
I
you
think,
can like pick them up because you can play them on an outpost. You just pick them
yeah,
up and move them around like equipment.
yeah. I seem to remember if you have holograms on a planet and your hologram projectors get Kevin or something. I think they're immune to Kevin. I seem to remember that being erased if something bad happens, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah. See, this is in theory this is seems like a fun idea, but holograms have always been a headache in 1E, and they've kind of you need one or two extra cards to really play them effectively, and then they're immortal. And this was not a deck type that I really missed having in the meta, and now I'm seeing this become a headache again.
Well, at least there's always what's that dilemma from Lockheed that kills that erases half of the holograms? Deliberate tactical error.
Oh, yeah.
Only if they're universal, though. Which I don't I don't know if they're going to carry that on that tradition because originally all the premier holograms, even the ones that should be unique, like Einstein or whatnot, are all universal. But a couple of the holograms, like Iden and those guys, were unique, so they wouldn't be susceptible to that.
Yeah, any generic hologram originally it was meant to be, any hologram should be universal because you can generate it anywhere in
Yeah.
multiple holodecks. But once they became, you hit Voyager and they start becoming self-aware, then you get into the
Right. That must be it.
unique holodeck or holograms. But I do have one answer if I can find it, assuming it works the way I recall. But that's not the card. Nope, I can't remember. I'll have to look at a deck builder. There is it's either a ref card or a captain's order, because I remember something that I can usually readily download that I think really smacks up holograms, and it's generally unexpected.
The ship, the Locarum, from All Good Things.
No, if that's not the one I was thinking of. It was an interrupt.
All Problems or something like that.
No, I'll have to think about it. Plus, I mean, maybe I don't want to give it away. Maybe I'll just keep it in my deck, and then when you drop your hologram deck, I'll destroy everyone.
Deactivation.
Where's my Tommy gun? Deactivation. That might have been it.
Erases a team. Oh, it's a captain's order. You're right. Erases a team of only hologram personnel. Oops.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's been sitting in my tent forever. Courtesy of TK.
Yeah.
You only have to play against that once to make it too annoying to stand, and so that went straight into my tent.
Yeah, there's a universal Locarim vessel from All Good Things. It's non-aligned, so anybody can get it with a space door. It has a tractor beam, and its special game text is all hologram cards here are deactivated.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh, those are the guys that were hunting, like on the President of Earth, and they were hunting.
Yeah, War with Photonic Insurgents.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny. Wow. Yeah. Field Squadron only, sadly.
Well, with a space door, you can get it anywhere you want.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, all right. Well, there we go. We got a spoiler for the upcoming set, some chat about the upcoming set. We've got a tournament this weekend, and unfortunately, you're out of town, and I've got family in town, so we're both going to miss it. So we'll have to review what was done in our absence. Yeah. Maybe we'll get Charlie or JD or somebody on. And with that, though, I don't think we have much else to talk about, do we?
Nope, that's it. We do have a schedule up for the first quarter of the year, which is nice for our local tournaments. So we will be having them, and we will hopefully at least one of us go to them eventually. I am planning to go to the next one.
Good.
It will be 1E. I am available. I am marking it on my calendar, so I will have a report for that. In the meantime, we'll hopefully get some help reporting results from this weekend. 1 week from tonight. In the meantime, I'm Rogue,
And I'm Amsterdam.
and I'll remind you to expand your power in the Gaba Quadrant universe.
And I will file a mission report to end.